Hello everyone. I have a question. Do you believe in time travel? Sounds fantastical, something out of a myth. But I ask you to close your eyes and hold your breath. It's May 25th, 1977. You walk into a movie theater to see the first Star Wars movie. During a time which a sci-fi movie was unthinkable, and the main movies in theaters were dramas, gangster movies, and long-term stories being told weren't commonplace. The collective minds of the public were blown away, and a new myth was born. Before we can see how that story affected the modern world, we need to see how it started. George Lucas was a graduate from the University of Southern California who dreamed of something more. He went to the USC of Cinematic Arts, where his story started. After school, he made a film called Thanks 1138, a sci-fi film about a society under the grip of an oppressive government. I think that sounds a little bit familiar. And he released American Graffiti, a movie that shows a snapshot of teenage life in the 1960s, specifically in Modesto, California, where George Lucas grew up. After these two movies, he began writing a sci-fi story named The Journal of the Whills, the Saga of Luke Starkiller. What else were you expecting? The Journals of the Whills was a massive screenplay chronicling a story about a group of mystical warriors of the Jedi Order fighting a tyrannical government. And in this story, it mapped out what would have been one massive movie that would have been close to like 5 or 6 hours. No one really liked the first draft, and there were some flaws. So George Lucas rewrote it, and then rewrote it again, taking inspiration from old samurai movies, Eastern mythology, and the Buddhist religion to create Star Wars, later titled Episode 4, A New Hope. He began to shop it around to many different studios, none of which liked it, before it ended up at 20th Century Fox. When it came to casting the movie, Mr. Lucas went for unknown actors. When Mark Hamill became Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher became Leia Organa, the wise mentor Obi-Wan Kenobi was given to the legendary actor Allen Guinness, and for smuggler Han Solo, American Graffiti cast member Harrison Ford. Star Wars then mostly cast unknown actors besides James Earl Jones and Peter Cushing. When the movie was shot, most of the visual effects were unknown at the time because a lot of them didn't exist and had to be created. So model runs for this spaceship fights, for the land speeder, there had to be a whole rig constructed. And visual effects created. After the first Star Wars movie was released, Star Wars itself became a global phenomenon. You couldn't go into a toy store without seeing something for Star Wars. Every kid knew what the word lightsaber meant. And then, within the next 2 years, The Empire Strikes Back followed, and then after that, Return of the Jedi. Star Wars trilogy itself, its effect on modern storytelling is absolutely massive. You can ask someone if they've seen a Star Wars movie. Their answer can be no, but they still know Luke, I am your father. They still know the hyperdrive. They still know so much about these movies. Now, itself, we can go to a movie theater and we can watch long-term stories with our favorite characters play out across multiple years. Now, a key archetype of something like the hero's journey, which has been around for centuries, is Star Wars. In my personal opinion, modern day storytelling in a movie, film would not be the same without George Lucas or Star Wars. My name's been John. This has been Bleeding Heart. Thank you.